Hello, this is Hal calling. I have a little bit of a unique question, and that is this.
Sure.
Do you all specialize in working with a future music artist to where if I needed, let's say, one or two million dollars worth in guitars, especially made for me, and these would eventually go in storage because we have a tour plan, but we have to still put me through 2.5 to 3 years of specific training before we go through with it. But what I'm interested in is eventually having you put together for me a list of very specific guitars that are all acoustic guitars, and specifically for a country music artist, me being that country music artist. Believe it or not, we're under a very unique situation where I've made basically a certain amount of money within the stock market and within investments over the years. And basically my grandpa and grandma set up a will for me, and I'm able to make investment decisions based on specific factors, profit-wise. And so we've made so much money doing all of that stuff over the years that literally I could never have to sign or go with a record label and literally do everything myself and the whole 9 yards, meaning hire my own management, hire my own,
Sure.
just everything, and not have to go the traditional route. We're not really doing this to make money. This is more of a, believe it or not, this is an odd situation to say or be in, but a professional fun thing. You know what I mean? Which is a little odd to say because it's obviously going to be a business, but that's the best way I could describe it. Should I look at this as there's the Fenders, there's the Telecasters, which we already have those in storage, which are the vintage guitars. So we have those bases covered. What we don't have covered specifically is the acoustic side of things when it comes to a whole entire country music rig, acoustic-wise.
Okay.
That's what base we don't have covered pretty much at all. I would have to also speak to the person who set up stuff, my old guitar tech that we hired in years ago, and I would have to speak to those people who have our notes and see if I have to hire in a professional luthier that's been through the luthier school for a year. Again, if they would have to go through the wood options through them, I still have to do that today. Do you know about what woods would be best combination-wise for the triple O's, the dreadnoughts, and any other acoustic guitars that would be needed, newly made for specifically a country rig? What is your opinion on curly redwood versus normal redwood on the bass frequency response, that is, because I have a lot of bass in my voice? Okay. A lot of the stuff that's going to need to be discussed that I'm still unaware of, because last time we did this, we hired in somebody that we paid for luthier school for a year for this person to go through just to travel around the whole entire United States for about a little over 3 weeks just to talk to all the builders about what we actually needed and wanted out of the guitars. The thing is that can I, with the luxury of working with you all, can I not have to do that again and then just work with you all on basically the notes of, hey, this is how we want the tops carved because we want it to best match to my voice to where it has a good amount of bass and to that sound specifically, because that's what we already did with some of the other models, but that was for a different genre of music specifically.
That would actually probably be really helpful as a place to start, just to have, if you've got recordings, you can kind of reference on that. That I think would be very helpful.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't at the moment because we're tied up down here in Florida specifically. I'm under multiple different contracts. They got me under one contract that stipulates I can't even go to music school right now until I literally re-sign a different contract so the people investing the money can make a higher percentage. So unfortunately, I can't do that at the moment, but I can basically give you all highly detailed notes of what I'm looking for. The only problem is that there's really tons of stuff that I don't have an education on when it comes to guitars and what I'm going to need. I have an education on how to play the stuff, but that's really about it. I'm definitely no builder. I just don't do what you all do for a living.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Okay. So redwood, Adirondack spruce, cedar, ancient cypress, and bear claw thicket spruce. I can stay with those 5 type of wood tops, and I'm pretty much in the clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Is there a specific type of species of woods, back and sides wise, that I need to stick with specifically because of the genre? I'm very familiar. The problem is I'm extremely familiar when it comes to the vintage guitars because I've played them over the years. I've purchased them over the years. I know that game and what that sounds like. The new stuff I'm very unfamiliar with. Is there a big difference between a newly made guitar with new wood, per se, even if it's 100 years old, meaning the tree was chopped down maybe 100 years ago or 50 years ago, compared to something that is vintage, maybe 50 to 100-year-old guitar? I know there's a sound difference, but I don't know, contributing mainly, let's say, a brand new piece of Brazilian, that's a brand new guitar, versus, an old guitar that's a 50-year-old or 75-year-old Dreadnought, for instance.